What's up guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I made the beat for Fine/IGOTUS by Yung Steezy. This song is absolutely fire and he actually just released a new EP, so you better go check that out because it's fire. It's fire. But before we get into the beat, go ahead and check out my socials. I'll have the link in the description and I will also link all of Steezy's socials as well. His SoundCloud, Instagram, all that stuff. So be sure to go check him out and go ahead and check me out as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the beat. Alright, so I got the beat pulled up right here, and you know what, let's just go ahead and just start breaking it down one by one. It's a kind of complicated beat. It's alright. It's fairly complicated, but it's not too bad. It's very vibey sounding, a very chill beat, and the song just goes hard with his vocals on it. So alright, let's just go ahead and break down the melody first. Alright, so the first part of the melody, I have this like little pad key kind of instrument, and then I just made this super simple pattern with it. Super simple, kind of repetitive, but here's how it sounds. And so that's kind of just the foundation for the melody, and then I just added a bunch of different layers on top of that. Alright, so next we kind of have this like soft little pluck that I layered on top of the keys. It's also pretty repetitive, but it sounds pretty cool. So here's what it sounds like. Alright, and for this layer, it's kind of a call and response kind of thing, so as you might be able to see right here. So as you can see, I kind of made some pockets with these two layers, and then I use these two layers as a call and response kind of thing. And so I'll play the call and response ones as I go along. I'll play it with the main melody, so you kind of get how it fits in there. But for the first call and response pocket, filler, whatever you want to call it, I have this lead. It's just super simple, and I manually like made it taper off in the velocity. It's kind of like the same thing as adding a delay, but you have a little more control over it, and I just think it sounds cooler like this. So here's what that sounds like. And then moving on, we have this one, which is the first response in the sequence. So we have this right here to fill in the first pocket and this one to fill in the second one, and vice versa. So this is a pretty analog kind of sounding pluck, and you know, I just kind of made some like cascading notes going down with it. But to add another cool effect to this, I automated this filter to where it was kind of like sweeping up. It makes the sound like move a little bit. It sounds like it's growing, or like just, I don't know, it's getting clearer and clearer. It's hard to explain, but it sounds really cool. But this is what all of these layers sound like together. And then just for reference, here's what it sounds like without the filter. So obviously with the filter, it just sounds like it's, I don't know, it sounds like it was muffled, and then it just gradually becomes more and more clear. So it just adds a little bit of movement, and I really like it. And then the last piece of the melody is actually going to be this like, this little lead that I made in a 3x oscillator. It's a little lead, like just a sine lead, but I like douse it in effects, and it's kind of just a texture at this point. It kind of just adds more layers to the main melody, but here's what it sounds like by itself. So yeah, it's kind of just a texture at this point. So I actually just put some reverb, phaser, and an EQ on it, made it more ambient sounding. And so yeah, at this one it's just a texture kind of thing, just add a little more movement to the entire melody. But this is what the melody sounds like all together. So yeah, like I said, it's super wavy, super chill, pretty ambient. I just really like this melody overall. The call and response thing sounds really cool to me, with all the different layers. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the drums. So obviously, I just have this pretty simple clap pattern, nothing too special. But the hi-hats are kind of spaced out and a little stuttery, kind of just coming in and out, so I thought that sounded pretty cool. So here's what the hi-hats and the clap sound like together. And then I just added some open hats. So this one's just like a basic open hat that leads to the clap. And then I added these open hats and turned them pretty far down, kind of in the background, just to add a little more balance to the drums. And then as for the 808s, I kind of just spaced them out. They're a little repetitive, but it kind of establishes like a melody, and it goes along with the bass line, so I really like how they sound. And then for the kick, it just hits every once in a while to accent the 808. So here's what all the drums sound like together. Alright, but that's pretty much going to do it for this beat. It's definitely super wavy and a little complex with all the layers, but overall it's pretty simple sounding, super ambient, and like I said, it's super wavy, and I'm very glad that Steezy was able to hop on this and make a fire song out of it. I'll be sure to link the song, I'll link his socials, everything will be in the description below, so be sure you go and check him out. He just dropped an EP, absolutely fire. The EP's so fire. I was listening to it the other day in my kitchen. But without further ado, I'm just going to let this beat play out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Is that Seth?